empower all the educators over here. And let me take this opportunity to welcome Ms. Vinita G. Nair for the session. And what I believe is each and every moment is, when we move ahead, there is something to learn, especially when we gather here in such a online platform. I'm sure you all will gather some knowledge from Vinita Nair, and also decoding the question paper. It is something that is very important as far as the competency-based education is concerned. So she will throw a light on all of this, and I welcome you once again, dear Billy, for this. And thank you, Ranjit sir, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Sujata, ma'am. And she's also a chemistry teacher, as we know that, and a wonderful resource person too. So special sincere thanks to Sujata, ma'am. As you know that Central Sahodaya Conclave, Kottayam and Council of CBSE Schools, we are in a team. The persons behind with us on behalf of Central Sahodaya Conclave, Kottayam, our Honorable President, Srimati Marina Sebastian, Principal, Life Valley International School, Puduppally, Kottayam, and our Secretary and today's resource person, Vinita G. Nair, Secretary, Central Sahodaya Conclave and Principal, Alpine Public School, Kanjirapalli, Kottayam, and our beloved treasurer, Mr. M. Neelakandan, Manager, Sri Shankara Vidyalaya, Vaikyam. These are the team pillars always behind with us, and all the executive members of Central Sahodaya Conclave and all the patrons of Council of CBSE CBSE Schools of Kerala, Council of CBSE Schools of Kerala, CSCK, along with a wonderful technical team, Insight E. So Insight E is the service provider for the educational institutions, all the CBSE schools. Their service is holistic progress card, teachers assistant, ERP software, and all the technical support for the school. Representing Insight E today with us, the Managing Director of Insight E, Mr. Shuhaib. Shuhaib, welcome.
Thank you, Ranjit sir.
And Neelakandan sir, welcome to the session, and our beloved treasurer.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
And all the participants, as Sujata ma'am said, you can this session will be a wonderful one. That's a guaranteed one, and you can feel to interact with the resource person through chat box. And you can, if any doubt in between, you can raise the hand and unmute and ask to the resource person. We wish today's session will be a wonderful and effective one. Over to Vinita ma'am. And now the session is open for you. You can take the session in a effective way. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. My extreme gratitude to the entire team members of Central Sahodaya Kottayam, team Insight C, who are providing us the technical support, my dearest friends who've assembled here, and the entire chemistry teachers of CBSE. I hope people from many regions have joined here. A warm good evening to everybody who's present here. To teach is to learn twice over. And a teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops. Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. They may forget what you said, but they will not forget what you made them feel. That is a blessing which we teachers always have. Dear teachers who are attending this session, now it is 7 p.m. We know that we all are leading a battle to confront with all the people whom we meet at our workplace and at our family. But still, we are here. I can see almost 89, 90 people gathered here. But why? Because we know how important is to train ourselves, because we are dealing with lives. We are dealing with the future. The entire responsibility to mold them lies upon us. So with that note, I hope my session will give you some light into how to make our year-ending sessions beautiful, with children achieving wonderfully for the final board examination. So let me share my PowerPoint with you. Can you see? Are you able to see? Can someone respond?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Yes. Transforming the transformers. This is session 2 of this year. Let us move on to the objective of this session. When we talk about the objectives, by the end of this presentation, you will know the sample question paper 2023 of chemistry. You will understand the competency-based questions and solutions. You will analyze the outcomes tested and apply it in your sessions. And you will be able to identify and apply some revision strategies in your classrooms. Hope by the end of the session, you will be able to do all these things. Now, let us move on to the first area, the chemistry curriculum, which we all know, which was received in the beginning of the academic year. In the beginning, we had received something like this. Now, there what we had was something slightly different, like, yes, for electrochemistry, 9 marks were given. Then for haloalkanes and haloarenes, 6 marks were given. Alcohols, phenols, and ethers, 6 marks were given. Aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acid also, 6 marks were given. But now we can see that there is a slight change as we have received the sample question paper. When we analyze it, we can see that there is a slight change in that. And that is, for electrochemistry, it is 8 marks in the sample question paper. Then for haloalkanes and haloarenes, it is 7 marks. Alcohols, phenols, and ethers, it is 5 marks. And aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acid, it is 9 marks. Hope that is clear to you. Now, moving on to the next one. First of all, we should be knowing about the domains where the children are being tested. The first one, that is remembering and understanding, 40% weightage is there. Then for applying type of questions, 30% weightage is there. And for analyzing, evaluating, and creating, 30%. Again, 30%. So we should be able to give children an exposure to all these different domains so that children become very confident while they prepare for the revisions. Now, another very important thing which we had discussed during the first session of transforming the transformers is about the competency-based questions, which will be coming in 2022-23, and it is for 30%. So more weightage is given to competency-based questions. You might have understood it after receiving the sample question paper. There will be MCQs, case-based questions, source-based questions, objective type questions, short answer, long answer, everything will be there. But one thing which we should give importance to is the competency-based questions. Rather than giving importance to the content, please give importance to the concept. Okay, so let us move on to the sample question paper, Chemistry 2023. Now, when we are analyzing a sample question paper, why are we doing this? We are doing this because we all know that we are at a place where we are trying to complete the portions and start our revisions. And when we are revising, we all know a very common fact which is there. Most of our children are fond of acquiring new knowledge. We also. But revisions are very boring for our children. This we should understand. But at the same time, revisions are very, very necessary. So, how do we create revisions more interesting? That is one thing which we should keep in mind while we are starting our revision classes. Now, so as educators, it is our responsibility to make the revisions interesting for our children. So for that, let me show you a video where you will see some important strategies for revision. Hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, we can't see.
You're not able to see?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am. We can't see, ma'am.
Okay.
It's not playing actually.
Yes, yes, yes. I'll try once again. Are you able to see now? No? Not possible?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Is my PowerPoint visible?
No, miss. No, miss.
No, ma'am.
Your
No.
PowerPoint also.
Is my screen visible now? No. Yes. Is my screen visible now?
Yes, ma'am. Your screen is visible.
Yes. Is the video
Now-
visible?
Yes, video playing, ma'am.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
go ahead.
It is about revision, how to do it. Strategy number 1. Strategy number 2. Strategy number 3. Strategy number 4. Number 5. Okay, hope that is clear to you. Yes. Now we move on to the different sessions, different chapters which we have to concentrate on now. The first one probably is solutions. We all know that. We all know that. Yes, ma'am. I know point number 4 was missing. Yes. We all know that solid state is not there now. We are starting with solutions. Now, when we are having this one, this chapter, can you suggest one strategy which you can follow while you are making children learn this particular chapter? Anybody? Any of these strategies can be used in any of these chapters, but have you ever felt that this particular strategy will be more effective for this chapter, solutions? Anybody? Not getting any answer. So what I feel is that we can use repeated practice tests. Don't you think so? A frequent practice test will make children learn this chapter very well, because we all know that practice makes a man perfect. After learning one topic, make children do several questions based on the same topic. And this gives them clarity on concepts. And After going through these questions, you might have understood through the sample question paper questions, you might have understood that clarity of concept is very much required for this chapter, because doing the numericals requires the skill of understanding the concept. So here the saying goes like this: sweat more in practice and bleed less in the war. So if you have gone through the students who have cracked the NEET last time, or any NEET examination, you can understand very clearly that those children go through the entrance coaching crack it very easily. However, understood why such children are cracking NEET very fast or very easily. It is only because of the clarity in concept that they are getting from the entrance coaching. Because with a single topic, the children are made to practice several questions, which make topic churn and churn and churn, and finally they get clarity in that particular content. So with that clarity in concept, they will be able to learn the topics very clearly. They will be able to understand the concept very clearly, and whatever questions come, children will be able to answer. So with this, let us move on to the important portions or important topics which we can expect from this chapter. Here, what we need to understand is that while going for a revision, it is very important that children should prepare a synopsis. A synopsis is nothing but the important content which can be coming from that chapter, which gives them an idea, a gist of what is there in the chapter. So if you give them a synopsis like this, you segregate the topics, concepts into under different headings and give it to them, it will be easy for children to learn during the revisions. So probably we can find out which all are coming under definitions or explanations, which topics come under distinguish between, because these are different repeated questions for board examination, the reasoning type of questions with explanation, how many equations are there, which all equations have to be learned by the child for numericals, then which all are the derivations that are there in this chapter, then what all are the graphs which children have to learn. So when we go through this, we can also understand that if you analyze the question paper, we can see that Henry's law is being asked, then solubility is being asked, numericals are there, depression in freezing point is also a major area which is concentrated, which is given highlighted in the sample question paper. So these are 4 main areas which are concentrated in the current sample question paper. So please try giving this kind of a synopsis, or you can even ask children to make the synopsis on their own, because that makes them learn the topics very easily. So if you go through the question paper, then you can probably see that the first question is question number 28. Question number 28 in solutions. And the question asks about Henry's law. Henry's law, and explain why are the tanks used by scuba divers filled with air diluted with helium. So here we should be able to make children learn how to write a definitions. While going through the paper evaluation procedures, we have seen that children don't know how to write definitions properly. So please make them learn the definitions appropriately, so that the definition does not change into something else. So the definition part is very important. And also it is an application of the Henry's law. The second part is an application of the Henry's law. So this also has to be given importance. And then the part B question is a numerical based on Henry's law, P is equal to KH into X. So here the mole fraction or the solubility of argon gas, solubility of argon gas is asked, and it is easy for child to find the answer. Since I don't find any difficulty in this question, because it is directly given in the textbook, all these indirect questions are mentioned in the textbook, so it is easy for them to find out the answer or for solving this question. Now, if you go through the next question that is being asked in the sample question paper, that is question number 32. Now, this can be a little confusing because here a few observations are given based on the study of melting point of different salt solution. And here the children are asked to find out one temperature in the second set of result does not fit the pattern. Which temperature is that? Justify your answer. And that can be a little confusing for children because it is a competency based question. Children who have understood the concept very clearly only will be able to answer this question. They have to think properly. They have to apply the knowledge that they have learned in different situations so that they find the answer, appropriate answer for this question. So here children should understand that as mass increases, the colligative property also increases. So here it is given that for the third reading, it is the third reading where the set of result does not fit the pattern. Have you got any idea about it? Why it is like that? Because in third reading, it is 0.5 gram, and in fourth reading, it is 0.6 gram. And we all know that as the mass increases, colligative property also increases. But here for 0.5, the set 2 reading is greater than that of 0.6 gram. So it has to be lesser than that of 0.6 gram. So hope that answer is clear to all of you. So it will be a little difficult for children, some children, to understand this question. So please make sure that children learn the concept very clearly. Now, second question says, why did Henna collect 2 sets of result? Why are we repeating the observation in experiments? So that is also something which children should learn from their practical knowledge. So they should understand that more the number of reading that they get, more the number of observation that they get, the probability of error will be very, very less. And part number C, it means in place of NaCl, if Henna had used glucose. Now here Van Hoff factor should be taken into consideration, and based on that, the delta TF value has to be calculated. Hope this solution is clear to you. Is there any doubt in that? Anybody? Those who have any doubt? Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Let us move on to the next one. Now it is also asked that what is the or question asks, what is the predicted melting point of 1.2 gram of salt? Yes, no, Sharavanan. It is like we can expect one case-based question from this unit only. No, there can be case-based questions from many chapters. Moving on to the next question, we will identify that there are a lot of case-based because it is for 30%. That means around 20 marks of questions will be case-based questions or competency-based questions. So there can be case-based questions in other chapter also. We cannot say that it is only from this unit. Now, what is the predicted melting point of 1.2 gram of salt? If it is added to 10 ml of water, justify your answer. Very cleverly, children can find out, but there also their analyzing skill should work. it is 1.2 gram of salt is given. So here 0.6 gram of salt is given and its reading is given. So from that, very easily children can find out the predicted melting point if it is 1.2 gram. Just multiply with 2 and they will be able to find out the depression in melting point for this particular amount of salt. So this becomes a little difficult for children. See, for this, what you have to do is that make children familiar with this type of question. Otherwise, children will not be able to solve this kind of questions. Now, moving on to the next one. This is the next one is electrochemistry. Now, if we analyze electrochemistry, we know that it is for 8 marks. And there is a 1 mark question, there is a 2 mark question, and again, there is a 5 mark question. So from electrochemistry, as we all know, there can be numerical based questions, lot of numerical based questions. Now, the main concepts, lot of main concepts are there, which we need to give importance to. We need to give them clarity on the different terms which we come across this one. Yes, now moving on to the next one. What kind of strategy can be used for electrochemistry? Let us see a revision strategy which we can use for electrochemistry. I always feel that peer teaching is something which is very importantly gives the children the right knowledge of whatever they have learned, because we all know that we became teachers and we got, my presentation is not seen. How many of you are not able to see my presentation?
Vinita ma'am, the screen shared is right now slide solution 7 marks 1, slide number 10 of your presentation. Can you just click share screen once again?
Okay. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Is it visible? Yes, I'm sorry. So the previous slides you were not able to see?
No ma'am, the slide was stuck at slide number 10.
Okay. Okay, I hope I can move on to electrochemistry. It is for 8 marks. So there is a question for 1 mark, for 2 mark, and also for 5 marks. So the strategy which we can use, as I told you, peer teaching. Peer teaching is a wonderful strategy. As teachers, we all learn the concept very clearly when we started teaching. We all know that. So when a child starts teaching, there will be clarity of concepts, because they can become a teacher only when they are an expert of the particular concept. So make children responsible for what they are doing. Make children give the responsibility of teaching their peers, their friends. It will be very exciting for them to teach their peers. So this will be a wonderful strategy if you use it in the classroom, because we know that electrochemistry is a topic where we need a very good clarity of concept, and that can be possible when they teach amongst themselves, so that the idea becomes clear for them. Likewise, if we look into the synopsis of electrochemistry, a whole lot of topics are there which we need to give importance to. And if you check the sample question paper, probably you can see that molar conductivity is given importance, Colruysch's law is given importance, lot of numericals are being asked, then anode cathode reactions are being asked, products of electrolysis is there, corrosion is there, whole lot of topics are being asked in these 3 questions which are there in the board sample question paper. So it becomes very important for us to give clarity in all these topics. And if children have to do the numericals properly, we all know that there should be a clarity of concept. Now, the first question of 1 mark is about Colruysch's law. The molar conductivity of acetic acid at infinite dilution is 390 Siemens centimeter square per mole. One thing which children can confuse here, many children will forget that it is molar conductivity at infinite dilution. Children may confuse it as lambda-m, but we should make them understand that it is not lambda-m, it is lambda 0m. It is the molar conductivity at infinite dilution. And using the graph, children have to find out the lambda 0m for HCl and KCl, apply the Colruysch's law and find out the molar conductivity. So here it becomes the answer is option B. I hope it is easy for you because many questions are there in the textbook itself where these kind of questions are can be solved. But one thing is here children have to find out the limiting molar conductivity of KCl and HCl from the graph. And when it comes to KCl, they have to understand that it is 150 because it is touching just in between 125 and 175 at the middle. So their analyzing skill, their interpreting skill, their locating skill, their practical knowledge, everything comes into play in this particular question. So I hope this question is clear to you. Is there any doubt? Okay. Now moving on to the next question. The next question in this particular chapter is question number 23 of sample question paper. It is about corrosion, as I told you. Here, the reaction of oxygen is given and children have to find out the possible reactions for the corrosion of zinc, which is occurring at anode, cathode, and overall reaction to form a white layer of zinc hydroxide. So this kind of a question or corrosion equations are not directly solved in the textbook. So children should understand that corrosion is an electrochemical phenomenon. There will be anode reaction, there will be cathode reaction. And which is anode, which is cathode, that also they should understand. Zinc will always act as anode. That also they have to analyze and find out. And finally, they should come up with the oxidation which is happening at anode and the reduction which is happening at cathode. And from these 2 reactions, they should find out the overall reaction. They should finally write the formation of zinc hydroxide also. This will be a little confusing for some children. So please see that these type of questions are different types of these questions are given to children so that they are finding it easy to solve these types. Now coming to the third question. Here it is question number 33 and it is a 5-mark question. The following questions are long answer type and carry 5 marks. So it is a 5-mark question. Now, why does the cell voltage of a mercury cell remains constant during its lifetime? Now, this particular answer is directly given in the text. If those children who've read the text very clearly will be understanding, will be knowing the answer of this question, then write the reaction occurring at anode and cathode and the products of electrolysis of aqueous KCl. Aqueous NaCl is given in the text. Children have to apply the same concept here and write the equation for aqueous KCl. And what is the pH of HCl solution? Finding out pH from the given data. There is one problem in the textbook. So see that children are trained for solving those questions. Now the OR question is finding out finding out which is the most which is the appropriate value for the molar conductivity of copper. So here children should understand that copper is a metal, and for a metal, conductivity should be very high. So they should be able to find out which is the higher value of conductivity which is given in the question. And what is the quantity of electricity in coulombs required to produce 4.8 gram of magnesium from molten MgCl2? Here, children should be able to solve the question based on the Faraday's law. I hope that also will be easy for them, because there are many such questions there in the textbook. Then finally, what is the standard free energy change for the following reaction at room temperature? Is the reaction spontaneous? Now here, I hope there can be a confusion, because this question can be solved only if the E0 value is given for the cathode and anode. But this is not given. Probably it might have been taken from the text directly. And in text, it is assumed that children should refer to the electrochemical series, which is given in the textbook, and find out the E0 of cathode and anode. So first of all, children have to calculate E0 of cathode and anode, then finally find out E0 cell. And then they have to go for the delta G0 value. If it is negative, it will be spontaneous. Yes, Preeti ma'am? Have you got some doubts? Okay, shall I move on to the next one? It is chemical kinetics. Chemical kinetics goes for 7 marks, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2. So this is the mark division which is given in this chemical kinetics. Now here I feel that a spaced repetition can be very good for revising this chapter, because as we all know, retention, the memory retention, the forgetting curve, as I told you in the beginning, forgetting starts within a week. So after a week, nothing, whatever they have learned will not be there in their memory. So a spaced repetition of whatever they have learned should be given to them, so that they rethink, they do a retrieval practice for remembering all those concepts they have learned. So a spaced repetition will be one good practice for this particular chapter. Now, if we find out the different topics, we can see that rate law is asked in the sample question paper. Half-life is important. First order reaction, equation, everything is important. How rate depends on temperature, very direct question is being asked. Effect of catalyst, very direct question is being asked. And the temperature dependence on rate, that is Arrhenius equation, is being asked. Numericals are also there from this chapter. First question about T half. Here, from this question, children should understand that T half is inversely proportional to rate constant, and from that, they should find out the rate constant values are given. So, what is asked, which will have longer half-life? If an element is having longer half-life, then its rate constant will be lesser. It should be smaller value. And which one is smaller value? That also will be another task for them. Because when I gave this question to my children, they immediately said the second value. But because they were not looking at the 10 raised to factor which was along with that. So please make them understand to observe clearly before they go for the answer, final answer. So the answer becomes oxygen 15. Hope that is clear to you. Then question number 6. It is another question from this chapter. Now it is this question has some problem which I felt is that for the reaction, the order with respect to reactant A is 2, and with respect to reactant B, the question given in the sample question paper is incomplete. So we cannot solve this question as such. If we solve this question with respect to A, the answer becomes 4, which is solved here. But if we consider a reactant B also, and based on this condition, if B is halved, then if the answer in the marking scheme, the answer is given as 4. So if it has to be 4, then the order with respect to A has to be 2, and with respect to B has to be 0. So it depends on how the question comes. If there is any confusion in this question, you can. Yes, is there any doubt? Okay, hope that is clear to you. Please mute your audios, dear teachers. Now we will move on to the next question from this chapter, Arrhenius equation. It is a very direct question which is there from the textbook. Children have to find out the intercept and slope. Hope that is very easy for you to find out and make children learn. Please make them learn all the graphs that are given in the textbooks. Now, question number 19. This is the next question from the same chapter. What is the time needed for 80% of the reaction? Now, from this question, children should understand that it is half-life given in the first part of the question. Some children may not think about it. For 50% completion, children may not think, and it is a first order reaction, so they have to substitute the values in the T half for first order reaction. So this also becomes an easy question if it is solved properly and learned properly. Then the next question is, explain how and why will the rate of reaction for a given reaction be affected when a catalyst is added? Very easy question, very directly given in the textbook. Children have to just go through it and how it is affected with proper clarity. They have to explain. And the temperature, how temperature affects the reaction if it is decreased. Now coming to the next D and F block elements of having 7 marks given in the sample question paper. 1 plus 1 plus 5. This is the different type of questions that are being asked. 1 mark question, 2 1 mark question, and 1 5 mark question. Reasoning type of questions can be asked, property based questions can be asked, graph based questions can be asked, reduction potential based questions can be asked. Now, here, I would like to show you another strategy for teaching D and F block elements. I have always felt that highlighting is a very important technique for learning many chapters, because there are certain topics, certain points in the textbook which are not given importance by children, children are least bothered about certain topics or certain areas of the textbook. But in D and F block elements, we can see that most of the sentences given in the NCERT textbook can be asked as questions for the board exam. So if you give them such areas where children may not take care of and ask them to highlight those points, it will be easy for them to stick into their memory and they will be able to recollect it very easily. So highlighting another important strategy which can be used for this particular chapter. Now, this is another question. This is the first question which is asked from D and F block elements. Potassium permanganate is colored. So this can be confusing because usually we always connect color with DD transition in D and F block elements and its compounds. So here children should understand that in potassium permanganate, manganese is having +7 oxidation state. Its d orbital is not having any electrons, so DD transition is not possible. If DD transition is not possible, KMnO4 is expected to be colorless, but it is colored because charge transfer takes place from ligand to metal. So these things should be taken care of. Now, another question from this chapter. Given below are two statements. It is an assertion reason types of question. I've seen that these kind of questions are quite confusing for many children who don't have clarity of concept. So if this type of question will be able to solve only with very clear clarity in concept. So here the assertion is magnetic moment values of actinides are lesser than the theoretically predicted value. A reason given is actinide elements are strongly paramagnetic. Select the most appropriate answer from the options given below. Here, answer is B, where both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. Actinide elements are strongly paramagnetic only because of the number of unpaired electrons that are present in that. The magnetic moment is lesser because of the shielding of electron, because actinides are less effectively shielded, which result in quenching of orbital contribution. Here, the orbital contribution of angular momentum is neglected in this particular case because of the less effective shielding. So that clarity of concept should be given to children while they are solving this question. Hope it is clear. Now coming to the next question, last question of D and F block elements. Why are all copper halides known except that copper iodide? Very easy, direct question from the textbook. All these answers, I think all these answers can be directly found from the textbook. So please make children, I've seen all these answers are directly given in the textbook, which can be highlighted and they can learn it directly. So I don't think this needs an explanation. Now coming to the last. Yes, yes.
So there is one question that is regarding the color of KMnO4.
Yes.
Our answer confusing and choice because DD transition and charge transfer from ligand to metal is there. But actually that second point, answer, that point is not discussed in the textbook, isn't it?
Yes.
We study about that only in the higher classes.
Yes.
If a student write DD transition, he or she has got mark.
Yes.
Because the student have no idea about that second option.
Yes.
Most probably students give answer only the A, DD transition, because every time we tell that word, color, DD transition, color, DD transition.
Yes. Ma'am,
So
that
the students are actually able to get marks. They are DD transition, isn't it?
I think when we are dealing with the next chapter, coordination chemistry, we can throw some light into it. Since we have confronted with this question, we need to give some idea about this also to our children. That's what I feel.
Okay.
Yes. Now coming to the next one. Hope the last question is clear to you. Now coming to coordination chemistry, the last chapter of part 1. Coordination chemistry, what I feel is that the strategy which we can use here is rereading. Rereading means read the textbook several times. Today, we ask them to read. After 2 days, we ask them to read the same topic. After 1 week, we ask them to read the same topic. We are not simply asking them to read but we need to give them a test based on that, so that they read and find out the answers. So when they read it several times, and when we ask them to highlight certain points or certain answers to some questions which we give them, this text become stuck into their memory. The sentences become stuck into their memory, which makes them think about a particular page. Even a particular page can come into their mind when they see a particular question. So this is a very a wonderful strategy which we can use in our classroom while they are while children are revising. Now, if we look at the different concepts, naming of complexes, structure, counter ion, structural isomerism, valence bond theory, inner and outer orbital complex, magnetic moment, crystal field stabilization energy, all these points are there in the are to be discussed in the sample question paper. So please give importance to this particular chapter. For the first question, the CFSE is given, and they are asked to find out the crystal field stabilization energy of COCl4 minus. Now there they should recollect that what is delta T? Delta T is equal to 4/9 of delta O. It is given in the textbook. I don't know whether we are giving them questions to solve it, but this is an application of that particular equation which they are learning in this chapter. Then the next question is the number of ions formed on dissolving 1 molecule of Mohs salt in water. Very easily children can find it out. Total 5 ions, 1 Fe2 plus, 2 SO4 2 minus, and 2 NH4 plus ions. Then next question number 22. They have to represent it as a carbonate and a chloride. They have to write the structures and names of the possible isomers. So need to give importance to the structures, how to write structures, and how to name the different coordination complexes. I hope that will not be difficult for children. Now, next question, using valence bond theory, explain the following in relation to paramagnetic complex. I hope this is very easy for children because there are only very few examples which are given. So this will be an easy one. They need to understand that CN, relate it with the spectrochemical series, understand that it is CN, which is a strong ligand. So it will be an inner orbital complex in valence bond theory. So the part 1 is over. Now coming to the organic chemistry. In organic chemistry, we know that there should be, we need to connect all the chapters while children are learning or while they are revising. So here in this chapter, there are 7 marks question, 2 1-mark question, 1 2-mark question, and 1 3-mark question. And the questions which are being asked in the sample question paper is about Zaitsev's rule, electrophilic substitution, SN1 reaction, stability of carbocation, physical properties, racemization. All these things are taken into consideration. Now here I feel that flashcards can be some very important things which children can use to remember the concepts or terms or reactions which they have learned in organic chemistry. So a flashcard is something where they write, probably they can write the question on one side, answer on the other side, or the name of a particular reaction can be written on one side, and on the opposite side the answer can be written. So if they make flashcards like this while they learn, they can use it for revising. So it will be easy for them to do a quick revision if they have several such flashcards. Now the first question from haloalkanes. Here, this question, it is an application of Zaitsev's rule. Please make them understand by doing several types of compounds, many different types of compounds should be given to them so that they understand where the Seitzup's rule can be, has to be applied. So here they should understand that which OH and which H are removed during the acid catalyzed dehydration and what will be the corresponding answer product formed. Now, second question, which one of the following compound is more reactive towards SN1 reaction? Very importantly, children should know that it is all about the stability of carbocation. First one will give allylic carbocation and second one will give benzylic carbocation. Now, the point is which one is highly substituted. So the more resonance stabilized carbocation will be the most stable one, and that will be more reactive towards SN1 reaction, and hence the answer becomes option C. Question number 21. Give reason for the following. During the electrophilic substitution reaction of haloarenes, para-substituted derivative is the major product. I think all these questions are there directly in the textbook. Many such previous year questions also were there. So it will be easy for them. The product formed during SN1 reaction is a racemic mixture. That also is easy, I hope. They need to understand that the carbocation is a planar one. So attack from both sides is possible and a racemic mixture will be forming. The question is, name the suitable alcohol and reagent from which 2-chloro-2-methyl propane can be prepared. So here children should be able to start from the product and predict the reactant. At the same time, children should be knowing how to start with the reactant and the product. So three things which we need to give importance to in organic chemistry. One, they should know what is the reactant, what is the product. In vice versa also, what is for this particular product, what can be the reactant, and how to find out the reactant, how to find out the structure of reactant. And third thing is the reagent used. As soon as they see the reagent, they should be able to predict which reaction it is. Now coming to question number 30. Identify the major product formed when 2-cyclohexyl chloroethane undergoes a dehydrohalogenation reaction. Now here, name the reagent which is used to carry it. I hope it is clear, right? Because it is alcoholic KOH. Now, all these types of questions, I think it is easy for them, because many such questions we are making them solve. Allyl chloride is hydrolyzed more readily than N-propyl chloride, because the same type of reaction, the SN1 reaction is happening. I hope that also will be easy for them. Now coming to alcohols, phenols, and ethers. Now this is for 5 marks. Questions are for two 1-mark question and 1 3-mark question. The main topics which are there for this particular chapter in the sample question paper is esterification. Formation of aspirin is being asked. Electrophilic substitution should be taken care of. Reimer-Tiemann reaction is asked. Physical properties of either. Chemical properties of either. These are asked in the sample question paper. Now here I think we can use a strategy called interleaving. Interleaving is a concept a strategy which we can use for the entire organic chemistry, because interleaving is one of the best method which is considered for while preparing exam, because here there is intermixing of concepts. So concept of one particular chapter, here we know one chapter is related to second chapter is related to third chapter. So if these interconnected topics are mixed and learned, their idea of understanding will be better. So it makes them understand the concepts more clearly, and they will be able to answer such doubtful questions also by connecting with different concepts which are given in the different chapters. Now, for alcohols, the question is, what is the major product of the following reaction? Here, they should know which bond will be broken. The bond which is nearer to the benzene ring cannot be broken because nucleophilic substitution is very difficult for haloarenes. So based on that, where should the cleavage happen? Where the cleavage happens at the position 1 or position 2, they should understand that, and where will H go and where will Br go. Based on that, they should find out the product. Now, question number 15 also is from alcohols. Given below are two statements. It is an assertion reason type of question. Either is more volatile than alcohol of comparable molecular mass. Ethers are polar in nature. This is also, both are true, but ethers are more volatile not because they are polar, but because they have there is no intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So they should be able to understand that. Then comes question number 26. Write the equations for the following reaction. Salicylic acid is treated with acetic anhydride in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid. Aspirin is formed. The reaction is directly there in the textbook. Tert butyl chloride is treated with sodium ethoxide. I think that also is there. Phenol is treated with chloroform in presence of NaO, and that is a Riemann-Tiemann reaction. Coming to aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acid, it is for 9 marks. 2 1-mark question, 1 2-mark question, and 1 5-mark question. The main points which are highlighted in the sample question paper are ozonolysis of alkene, Ettard reaction, aldol condensation, reaction with Grignard reagent, hydrolysis of acid chloride, then decarboxylation, HVZ reaction, acidity, nucleophilic addition, the different tests to distinguish are being asked. So a lot of topics are there because it is a very vast topic and a lot of questions are coming from this chapter. Now, which of the following test or reaction is given by aldehyde? Is given by aldehydes as well as ketones. Both give 2,4 DNP test, very easy one. Then oxidation of toluene to benzaldehyde by chromyl chloride. Whenever they see chromyl chloride, immediately they should be able to predict or find out the reaction, connect it with Ettard reaction. Then write the reaction and IUPAC name of the product. Very easy one, I hope so. Then a hydrocarbon A with molecular formula C5H10 on ozonolysis give 2 products B and C. Both B and C give a yellow precipitate. ABCD type of question. Now here children are asked to identify A, B and C. It becomes a little confusing for children. They should understand, they should apply different topic, different concepts that they have learned here so that they solve this particular question. Now, when they know that C5H10 undergoes ozonolysis, they should understand that it is an alkene, and they should be able to write down the products of ozonolysis. And when it is said that it gives an yellow precipitate when heated with iodine in presence of NaOH, they should understand that it is iodoform reaction, and iodoform reaction is given by compounds having CH3CO group. So there is an aldehyde because B gives silver mirror on reaction with Tollens reagent. So B is an aldehyde. So hopefully C will be a ketone. So both will be having CH3CO group. So there will be, it will be a methyl ketone. So connecting all these points, children should be able to find out the answer for this. I hope you find it quite okay for that particular question. Now coming to the next, the OR question. In the OR question, HVZ reaction is asked, equation is asked, Then acid chloride, hydrolysis is asked. What is the product formed? And then the acidity of chloroacetic acid is asked. The reason. Then decarboxylation reaction also is asked. But this is comparatively easier one, I think, because all are directly given in the textbook. Now, coming to the amines, 6 marks question, 3 1-mark question, and 1 3-mark question. Acylation, diazotization, nitration, Hinsberg's test, then basicity, boiling point. These topics are given importance in the sample question paper. Children will be getting questions to arrange in the increasing order of boiling points. Increasing order of boiling point, they should understand that how to find the increasing order of boiling point. As hydrogen bonding increases, intermolecular attractive forces increases, and boiling point also increases. They should have an idea about it. Which of the following statement is not correct for amines? Most alkyl amines are more basic than ammonia solution. pKb value of ethylamine is lower than benzylamine. CH3NH2 on reaction with nitrous acid releases NO2. So all these are correct one except C, because CH3NH2, it is an aliphatic amine. Aliphatic amine gives unstable disonium salt, and unstable disonium salt will not produce NO2. Instead, it will be producing nitrogen gas. So while you are solving this question, it will be better if you could solve all those statements so that all those concepts become clear to our children. Now, coming to question number 18, it is also assertion reason type of question. Tertiary amines are more basic than corresponding secondary and primary amines in gaseous state, and tertiary amines have 3 alkyl groups. So both the statements are supporting each other. Now coming to the last one, biomolecules. I found a very difficult question probably for children in this, where it is a perfectly competency based question. Children have to go through the question very clearly, go through the paragraph case which is given there, and they have to analyze the different aspects, and then they will have to find out the answer. In biomolecules, it will be for 7 marks. 1 mark question is there, 2 mark question is there, and 1 4 mark question is there. And this 4 mark question is case based question. Here, while during the structural elucidation of glucose, there are 6 reactions which children have to learn. Based on that, 3 questions are asked. Then the next question is from nucleic acid. Now here I feel mind mapping will be a beautiful technique, beautiful strategy which we can follow while revising. If children have mind maps of all chapters, it will be easy for them to learn, because a mind map gives them a gist of the entire chapter. Every point will be there in the mind map. So please see that children prepare such mind maps. Mind mapping can also be connected with pictures. If you connect it with pictures, pictorial representation, always children will be able to connect very easily. So based on their multiple intelligence, let them do whatever they like. Some of them will be able to visualize it and give it in the form of diagrams. Some of them may not be. So based on their intelligence, let them work out the mind map and see that it is ready when the revisions start. The first question, it is an assertion reason type of question. Here, proteins are found to have 2 different types of structures. That is correct. Secondary structure of protein is stabilized by hydrogen bonding. That also is correct. But second one is not the correct explanation of first one. Account for the following. There are 5 OH groups in glucose. 5 OH groups in glucose is explained with the reaction of pentaacetate. Glucose is a reducing sugar. That is because it reduces Felling's reagent. It can be explained based on that. What happens when D-glucose is treated with bromine water and HNO3? So these two also, formation of gluconic acid and formation of saccharic acid. It will be easy if they learn that equations. Now this is the final question, which is a little confusing for children. A description about nucleic acid is given there, and children are asked to find out the answer of the question based on that. A segment of DNA has 100 adenine and 150 cytosine bases. What is the total number of nucleotides present in this segment of DNA? Children should know that here they should be able to apply that. With every nucleotide, there is one base. So the total number of nucleotides will be, they can find out using the total number of base. So find out the total number of base present in it, and then they'll be able to find out the total number of nucleotides present in the segment of DNA. A sample of hair and blood was found at two sites. Scientists claim that the samples belong to same species. How did the scientists arrive at this conclusion? So here they should understand that it is the DNA structure, the nucleotide composition, which gives us these kind of information. So they have to write that point. Then the last one, the sample of a virus was tested and it was found to contain 20% adenine, 20% thymine, 20% guanine, and the rest cytosine. Is the genetic material of this virus DNA double helix, DNA single helix, RNA? Now, this is not given in the textbook. How to find out even single helix DNA structure is not clearly mentioned. So how can they find out the answer for this? So here comes their different competencies, analyze the passage given there and find out the answer. So according to the given information, here adenine and thymine is 20%, but guanine and cytosine is not the same. And if guanine and cytosine are not same, then it cannot be a double helix structure. That is what children should find out. Probably here we need to give them extra training on how to analyze questions and find out the answer. Little bit of extra knowledge has to be given here for solving these kinds of questions. So the Chagov rule and the application of this rule is being dealt with in this particular question. So with that, our sample question paper is over. Hope you are okay with the different questions. You might have already gone through it. You might have already analyzed the question paper. You might have already given it to children and they might have done. But when they are doing it again, please concentrate on the different revising techniques, which makes them more clarity in the concepts. Now, the last one is regarding the board practicals. During the first session also, we had discussed about it. We know that the mark divisions are like this. For volumetric analysis, 8 marks. Salt analysis, again 8 marks. Content-based experiment, 6 marks. And project, class record, and Viva, 8 marks. So total 30 marks. Now here, volumetric analysis, more salt and oxalic acid, there will not be any confusion for anybody. Salt analysis also, we are doing it for some time. Content-based experiment also, I hope, even though there are lots of content-based experiments given in the curriculum, we can concentrate on a few, like organic analysis, preparation of organic compounds, or preparation of inorganic compounds, which makes the learning part easy for our children. And then finally, coming to the project, it has been very clearly mentioned from last year onwards that project should be a problematic approach should be given to project. a problem. Children should find out a problem, identify a problem, and find out how they can solve the particular problem. And based on that, they need to study, research on it, and find out the different possible ways to solve the particular problem that they are facing. These are a few projects which are given in the curriculum to find out the pigments in marigold, spinach, rose, etc. Estimation of oxalate ions. All these are very easily asked. But I found one thing very interesting and very good for children for doing the industry visit. You can probably, this can be a typical project-based analysis where children visit a particular industry in our locality. They go and find out the different processes that are being happening in the particular industry or factory or whatever it is. Then they can even conduct a survey there to find out the different processes that are being happening, or what are the problems that are being faced by the people who are working there, and how these problems are affecting their health, and what are the possible solutions for solving all these things, what kind of precautions have to be taken for solving these kinds of problems. So if you do something like that, it will be meaningful. And as government has given us a lot of restriction regarding student picnic, let us conduct these kind of study trips which make their study meaningful, their observation, their connection with social issues meaningful. They find potential solution for the problems that are existing in the society, existing around them. And if they are involved into that kind of a project, I think it becomes more meaningful. So with that, I come to the conclusion of this, where I hope I have done some kind of justice to what you were looking for from this particular session. Now the floor is open for you. If you have any kind of doubts, probably you can ask. I know it is late, but if there is any doubt, please. Anybody? Thank you, Najia ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Vinita ma'am, excuse me.
Yes.
So from the chapter biomolecules, there is one rule. It is not mentioned in the textbook. So is there a need to discuss that in the class based on this sample paper?
Ma'am, I don't think that we need to discuss this rule in the chapter. Definitely, we have to give them the solution of the sample question paper, but they don't have to learn this rule because it is given. The rule is explained in the passage which is given in the question paper. That is all about competency-based question. So there will be some kind of such questions, such topics which they haven't even learned in the textbook, which are coming, from which based on the content that is given in the question paper, children need to analyze what is given in, apply it to what they have learned in the chapter, and then they find out the answer for that particular question using their critical thinking skill and their interpretation skill. That is all about competency-based education. So we don't have to teach them all these rules. How many rules we can teach them? Any rule related to any of these chapters can be coming. So we cannot teach them anything. We need to teach them how to face a particular problem which is coming to them for the board examination. We need to give them the confidence. We need to give them concept clarity. That is all about competency-based education.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. question wise mark splitting for coordination chemistry. For coordination chemistry, 2 1-mark question is given, then 1 2-mark question is given, and 1 3-mark question is given in the sample paper, ma'am. But we cannot confirm that, or we cannot conclude that it will always be like this. There can be changes. Though the sample paper is like this, there can be minute changes here and there. Sometimes this mark division can change, 1 or 2 marks can change. We can expect that. Solutions slide. Should I share it?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any other doubts which you have? Anybody? Is it this one, ma'am, which you were asking for?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Any other doubts?
Ma'am, Vinita ma'am.
Ah.
For the practicals, is there oxalic acid or more salt? Anyone is needed?
Ma'am, usually we, for the examination, we give them more salt because it is easy for them to do it within the stipulated time. We give them more salt is given for doing usually. It doesn't mean that they don't have to do oxalic acid. They have to do it. They have to learn it. Questions can be, Viva questions can be asked from oxalic acid, and also they should have all the record observations, everything in the record book also.
Okay, okay, ma'am. But as earlier, there is no change in the practicals.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Ma'am, Nisha ma'am, yes, I have highlighted the topics which are there in the sample question paper. We cannot concentrate only on those topics. It is only there in the sample question paper. We need to make children expect anything from this chapter, from all chapters. We cannot concentrate on only these topics. This is only for the sample question paper solution. Children should expect anything. Any other doubts?
I hope they cleared all doubts, ma'am.
Yes.
And the now time is 8:30
Yes,
also.
it is 8:30.
Shall we wind up, I think.
Yes. Yes.
So good evening once again. Ma'am, it was a wonderful one and effective one also. I seen the chat box many positive comments. It's an outstanding review regarding the session. Thank you very much, Vinita ma'am, for the wonderful session. And special thanks to the participants for the interaction and doubt clearing, the clarification. This is this kind of sessions we are expecting more. So you are a family member for us, not only a resource person. So it's only a formality for from Council of CBSE Schools of Kerala and Central Sahoda School Conclave. Proudly say that our resource person, our secretary. Once again, thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for all the participants. We can officially wind up the session. I think so.
Sir, one second, sir. Sir, you have to share the Google form.
The certificate form.
Yeah, accept.
Sure. I will. I think many times I shared.
In the beginning, you had shared.
Not only meanwhile I share many times. Fine.
No, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. May I ask you one thing?
Yes, yes, yes.
Ma'am, is it possible to share that PPT with us? Is it possible?
You need it?
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just asking you, is it possible or not? Okay.
definitely, definitely. I can share it.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
All the registered participants, once we receive the PPT, we will email to you. Is it okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Neelangan sir, shall we wind up? I already shared the certificate
Sure,
form.
sure,
and-
sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good night, sir. Good night, ma'am.
So, thank you, Vinita
Good night,
ma'am.
sir.
The
Good night, sir.
session officially ends. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you.